Madrid return to action tomorrow against Espanyol at the Santiago Bernabeu, where it is going to be a very, very big game. It's going to be a very big game. We actually have a top of the table clash between first and third place. And we're going to start with Espanyol because they are sitting on 10 points with 3 wins and 1 draw. And these aren't easy games. They haven't just picked up points in easy games. They in fact kicked off their campaign with a victory over a Madrid club, that being Atletico Madrid, the lesser Madrid club. But they picked up a victory against Atletico Madrid at home 2-1. They then went away to Real Sociedad, a stadium where the red card definitely influenced things, but a stadium where we had a very difficult time. If the red card didn't happen, and we're not even going to get into the whole discussion of whether it was or wasn't, or how the sanction has still stood even though they admitted fault, we won't get into any of that. What we will get into and focus on is that they came away from Real Sociedad with a 2-2 draw and a point. They then had Osasuna at home, where they again picked up a victory, 1-0, and they round up their La Liga fixtures with a 3-2 victory over Mallorca, again at home. So they are looking very, very good and have started the season off phenomenally. If, and this is a big if this was away from home and we weren't playing them at the Bernabeu, I might be a bit more concerned because we are playing a very, very informed team. But because we are at the Bernabeu, it fills me with a bit more confidence. Now let's jump into what Real Sociedad's team might look like. I've got to be honest, this is my first time seeing their team and their formation this year. I haven't really been following Real Sociedad, to be honest. I've only been following Madrid and Barca. And I would have followed Atletico, but they're just playing so badly, there's no point. When they catch up and start approaching us towards the top of the table, I might start paying attention to Atletico. But until then, let's focus on Real Madrid and Barca. But they are playing in a 4-4-1-1 apparently. A bit of a deeper dive into Espanyol, and it's looking like their best player so far this year is Carlos Romero, the left back, with Piri, Miller, and Edu Exposito, the top scorer and top assister. But overall, they look very, very good. I mean, their things are spread out. Like, their stats are spread out. You've got assists from both fullbacks. You've got a goal and an assist from the wingers, and then you have goals from the strikers. So they like to play out wide, and they make a lot of use of their wingers. Wingers, their fullbacks, which I don't know if that concerns me per se, but it's interesting to know. It is very, very interesting to know. But yeah, as we can see here, they have got 3 wins and 1 draw. They have a +3 goal difference. They have 8 scored for 5 conceded, and they are on 10 points. So they are doing very, very well. And like I said, this is a top of the table clash. It's first versus third. But let's move on to Real Madrid, where the biggest story of the squad list, at least, is the return of Endrick. Endrick is back in the matchday squad. Now, whether he gets minutes or not is a whole nother question. And I personally don't think he will get any minutes. But he is back. And even though they returned to the matchday squad over the week in the Champions League against Marseille, it's looking more likely, and that red card to Danny Carvajal maybe influenced things as far as Camavinga's concerned. I don't think Jude would have got minutes anyway, but as far as Camavinga was concerned, if that red card didn't happen, he could have got some minutes. But a lot of talks and a lot of report, and I think even Xabi Alonso said in his pre-game interview, that Camavinga and Jude Bellingham could very well get minutes. I still do think that Camavinga might be more likely to get minutes because he was supposed to come back so much later. This guy is way ahead of schedule. He was supposed to come back in like October, November times. He's back in September. So just because of that one point and that one reason, I just feel like he might be less likely to get minutes and Camavinga might be a step ahead of him. But they both haven't had a pre-season. They've both been out for months. They are both returning after a very, very long time, which is a big point. We have missed them and I am looking forward to seeing them. In terms of Real Madrid's starting 11, I don't think this is what we will look like. I don't at all. I'm actually, the position I'm most uncertain of is out here. I don't know whether we're going to see Asensio or Alaba. Asensio has looked shaky, and that is the nicest way I could put it. He has looked shaky in every single game he has played since the Club World Cup. And like I said, that is the nicest way I can put it. Last game, the guy didn't look like he could kick a football. He genuinely was struggling to kick a football. Not even in a certain direction, just away. He was trying to clear the football and he was struggling to kick it. So I doubt Asensio will play, and he is the one I am the most uncertain of whether he's going to be playing or Alaba. Besides that, I see nothing changing in the midfield. Tchouaméni and Fede Valverde are going to be the midfielders next to Arda, Guler. That is exactly the midfield trio as it has been all season. Mbappe is going to hold his position up top. I think Vinny will return on the left. After what Xabi Alonso said in his press conference, it's looking like Vinny will once again be the starting left winger. On the right, I'm not so sure. On the right, I genuinely am not so sure. Brahim Diaz could play, but he hasn't looked great in all his performances so far this season. So something about him just feels off. It just seems like he keeps trying to do too much. I don't know why, but every single time Brahim plays, it just seems like he's just trying to do a bit too much. So Mastantuono could very well be playing again. He is still in that little area where he's doing good things, and the things he's doing look amazing. And then there's certain things that he does where you're like, if it comes off, oh my god. But it's just, they're not coming off. Every little thing he tries and every little thing he's doing, they're just, and it's only just, but they're just not quite coming off. But when they do come off, I feel like we have a heck of a player in Mastantuono. But because those things aren't happening, this is another position like centre-back. I'm not 100% sure on who will be playing. But because it is at the Bernabeu, and because Xabi Alonso seems to favour Mastantuono at the Bernabeu, I feel like we could see him again. So I'm going to go Mastantuono on the right, Vinny on the left, and Alaba at centre-back, although that one, like I said, I am the most unsure of at centre-back who's going to be playing. Everywhere else, no question. This is the starting 11 and the players that are going to be in the starting 11. But anyway, I am going to call the video there. I am very much looking forward to tomorrow's game. Another game at the Bernabeu. Thanks for watching and peace.